Shalom. Genesis, Parashat Bereshit, Cain and Abel. So last time we finished with the tree of knowledge of good and bad, and we brought in Maimonides, who said that what the problem of eating from the tree of knowledge of good and bad, whatever that tree was, from that fruit, was that it brought into, like, once you eat from it, then in your body goes, or in your blood, or what you derive from it, is the whole thing of what we could call today politically correct. Not only is there true and false in the world, but there's also good and bad, or nice and not nice, okay and not okay, anything that goes with being judgmental. So now the next story with Cain and Abel, the next generation, continues the outcome, the result, or the ramification of having such a thing, of having this concept of not only true and false, but good and bad, and then that brings more into emotions, into judgment, and everything. It kicks up the yetzer, so to speak. Yetzer means like the inclination of evil, or like that desire, and things that are not just straightly true or false. So once they were kicked out of or exiled from the Garden of Eden, so Adam and Eve, it says that Adam knew Eve, which means probably that he knew her intimately, which means they had children, because the next episode tells us then they had the first child, which was Cain. They called him Cain, and the next one they called Abel. Cain worked the land; he was a farmer. And Abel was a shepherd, or at least it said he guarded the sheep. So whether it was, they didn't eat animals then, so probably it was for their wool or for maybe their milk, I don't know, but that's what he did. He didn't really want to work the land once it was cursed already and they were exiled from the Garden of Eden. So he was with the sheep, and Cain was the one who was farming and grew vegetables. Then it says Cain actually was Cain's initiative, and he brought a sacrifice to God from whatever he worked, from the fruit of his labor. And he brought vegetables and sacrificed them to Hashem, to God. Abel saw and also wanted to do the same thing, so he kind of copied his brother, but what he did was just one bit of a difference from the wording of the pasuk, of the verse, which probably made the whole world of a difference. He didn't just bring anything from his labor, but he brought from the best of his labor, from the very, very best of the sheep. And then it says God turned to Abel's sacrifice. He accepted it. I guess the fire exhumed it, and there was a feeling that it was accepted, and did not accept Cain's sacrifice, which was just random fruit of vegetables that he grew. So that, even though Cain was first and had the initiative, but the fact that he didn't bring from the very best makes a whole difference, because it shows where you come from. What is it, just an obligation to give God some of your fruit? You feel like you have to because he gave you the strength and he gave you the bracha, the blessing to do this, and so you just give him back? Or is it do you bring it from the best, which means you really understand that it's all there, everything is his, and the best belongs to him? That means that really you put God before you. It really shows the ladder. It shows the arachim. We'll have to check this one up. So Cain was distressed, and then it says he was distressed. His face was fallen, so to speak, and God turned to him and said to him a verse that is very difficult to explain. The wording itself is just difficult. Just literally, if I translate it literally without looking in the English Bible, then it says God told him, if you do good or if you don't do good, whether you carry the burden of good or not, in any case, sin awaits at the opening and desires you, but you have the power to rule over it. Very difficult verse. If I just loosely, there's many commentaries, but it would seem that he means, just the very simple understanding of this verse would mean that I guess that trial and error is something that is part and parcel of this world. We're not in Gan Eden anymore, in the Garden of Eden anymore. And you should know that there is always sin awaiting. Even whether you're good, yes, you were good yesterday or the day before, each and every day you have a new trial. Because of these words, that the sin always awaits at an opening. You can't just once win it over and then forever know that that's it, you're good. Each and every day has its trials. Each and every day has its experiences. And each and every day you have to overcome them and rule over your desires and rule over your bad temper and your bad inclination. That's what God says to Cain, which is something I guess every man and woman should take from then on till today and till ever after. But the next verse goes up and says that Cain went to the field and he said to Abel, and it doesn't say what he says, it just says he said to Abel when they were in the field, and he got up and killed him. So Cain killed Abel. That's the next verse. The fact that it doesn't even say what he told him, it says Cain said to Abel, and doesn't say what, and just goes and says he kills him. The fact that it doesn't say even the reason perhaps tells us that it doesn't matter the reason that he would. What were they talking about? Was it an argument? How bad was it? Did it heat up? What did he answer? All that doesn't matter. It's not written because I guess it has no meaning. Because at the bottom line, anything would have just been an excuse. Because whatever was said, there is no excuse for just getting up, rising, and killing your brother. So the Torah doesn't even tell us what they said. It just points out that that's what he did. And of course, for that he was punished. God says he kind of buried him quickly or something. And then God turns to him and says, where is your brother? And then the famous answer, he says, Hashomer achi anochi, am I my brother's keeper? Which is sassy at the least, but perhaps can also be even, it's unbelievable. What? Am I my brother's keeper? You're saying that to one that knows everything. You're saying that to Hashem, to God, to the one who created your parents directly, and you know him, and you just gave him a sacrifice yesterday, and now you're saying, am I my brother's keeper? And perhaps, what does it mean even? What does he want to say in that? Perhaps implied in it is even something even more. That another layer would mean perhaps, am I my brother's keeper? Aren't you the one that rules the world? I mean, you told me that I can rule my bad and evil inclination, that I can overcome my bad temper. But shouldn't there be a ruler over the world to make sure that bad things don't happen at the end of the day to people perhaps who do not deserve them? Am I my brother's keeper? Isn't it you?